Okay, hey guys, so you're gonna have to deal with my microphone cutting out. I'm sorry about the last video, but it's just how it is. Now, this video is going to be, like in the title, functions and variables. Now, I went through variables just a bit in the last thing where I said I equals 1. Now, I is a variable. That's all a variable is. Now, I can be, like I said, a string, which can be hi, print, I. Oh no, I missed it. Print I. There you go. And that will just print out hi. As you can see here. Now, you can have more than one. I equals 1, t equals 2, print I plus t. And that will be that. Or I could do comma, print I comma t, and it will show up as 1 and 2. So that is a variable basically. But you can also do more stuff with it. There's a local variable, which, to make something local, you just add local in front of it, and then you do local I equals 1. Now, the local part will only work, I guess, through a function. It will only work within that function. So, you could have function test1 local I equals 1, and then you could do function test2, but then if you were to do I equals I plus 1, and then you did hang on, print I which just has a local in front of that. Now if we were to do test2 test1, now test2 should come up with an error. There you go, line 6. And line 6 is this. Now I is a nil value. So there you go. So now if we swap them round, we can do that will print out 1 and then it will error. Ah, okay. It didn't error. Weird. It's probably getting the local part from. Oh well. It didn't work anyway. Oh, I see. Because I's already been defined up there. In a new function, it sets I to nil. Nil. So yeah. Now, like I just showed you, a function is made by doing function name, which can be whatever you want to call it, and brackets. If you press enter, it will automatically add an end for you. Now, between this can have an argument, say a, b. And then if you were to do print a comma b, and then you were, that is how you make a function. So function name, and it just needs an end. Anything in there will not be run until it's been called. Now, to call a function, like it's called up there, function name, you would have to go function name brackets. Now, if we're to run this, it will error or come up with nil. There you go. And so to do this, if we were to do 1, 6, there you go. Now the reason this works is because it requires an argument up here. So A will be the first one, B will be the second one. Now A and B are automatically set to nil. However, if you were to add your arguments down here, those arguments would be carried on to up here, which this can read from. I will eventually move on to remote events, and you'll learn more about arguments there. But this is sort of the basic stuff about functions. Now, the good thing about using functions is that you can prevent code from being ran until you want it to be ran. So say script.pair. Oh, hang on. Let's just do workspace.brickcolor. Oh no, I was meant to do baseplate. Oops. Equals brickcolor.new and say black. Now I don't think I went through this, but you can use something called a wait, which prevents any script from carrying on the next part until told to by the wait. Now this is the minimum that you can go. Wait 0 won't work, and this is 0.03 seconds. And you can add whatever time you want in there. Wait 1, wait 1.2, and this will wait in seconds. So you could do wait 60, and that'll be a whole minute. However, we can do wait 2, or we can firstly define our function up here. Function test run. AB print AB. So we can do test run. Now A can be dot brick color, but to get the brick color of an object, you need to add dot name, and that will tell you the brick color of the item. Now we can do comma, and let's just do workspace dot baseplate dot size, and this will return a vector3 value, which again, like I said in the last video, we'll move on to in probably the next video. Wait 1, and then here you go, so black, which is the brick color, and then this is the size, so 512 studs by 1.2 by 512, and that's the size of a base plate. Now your character is about 1.5 studs. From leg to leg it's about 1.5, not 1.5, 2.5 to 3 studs. If you include your arms, you're about 5 or 6. However, you are 1 thin, or something like that, because you have a mesh in it. It's confusing. But here you go, so that is how you use an argument. That's how you use a function. There's wait, and we've gone back to a property. So as you can see, functions are really useful. You probably won't need them if you've got one big code that just runs forever and does everything in order. However, you might want to use it if you have a gun. For example, you could do a hit event, well, dot touched, and if it touches an object you can fire a function, or you could do it a different way. So I can move on to events, which also do require a function. Now, if I was to do workspace dot baseplate dot touched connect test run, I don't know if this is going to work. It might work. No, there you go. Past value is not a function. So if we were to do that, there you go. So if you touch it, it will tell you the part that touched. And that's about it really. B is a nil value, so yeah. However, you can do functions another way. So first of all, you've got to learn that this is an event. So dot touched. The main sort of ones you will use is dot touched, dot child added, dot chatted, and dot player added, dot player removing, dot character added, dot died, dot child removed. Oops. And there are some more. For example, workspace dot baseplate, and then if you look through here, all these ones with a little lightning bolt, these are all the ones that all the functions that can be used. So dot changed, for example. Dot changed. This will every time a property is changed, it could be for one of these values, or it could be something like that. Every time it was changed, the function will run. Yeah. Now dot touch, like I showed you, it's when a part is touched. Child added. This is when, say I had workspace.child added, this will be as soon as anything is entered into workspace. Dot chatted, when a player chats, which you do have to use dot player added first. Dot chatted requires player added. Player added when a player joins. Player removing when they leave. Character added when they spawn. Dot died when they die. And child removed, the opposite of child added. These are the main ones that you will use. It may seem like a lot, and I'll go through them a little bit. I'll go through dot touched and player added. Now, this is the first way that you will learn to make a function and run it with an event. However, dot touch. Now, once you're here, you could do function hit. Now, people do tend to do hit instead of something else. I don't know why, it's just a general, I guess, argument that people use. Now, we can get rid of this because we're not needing that anymore. Although this will only run the function once, you can't call it again later. This will only run when it's touched, so we could do print I got touched, not dirty. Okay, you ready? And I got touched. Now, ROBLOX's dot touched does fire multiple times. Now to do this, to prevent this even, we can do something called a debounce. It's a variable, it doesn't need to be called debounce, but that's what it's called on the wiki. Debounce equals false. If not debounce, then print hit.name. Well, no, I can just do hit. Print hit. Debounce equals true. Wait one. Debounce equals false. Now, there are two ways that you can do an if statement with a true or false value. Now, there's if not debounce, or there is if debounce equals false. Although you will probably tend to do if debounce or if not debounce because it's quicker. Now, if debounce, if the value is true, or if not, if the value is false. Now this will only print once, hopefully. There you go. Well, once every second. Now debounces are pretty useful, but only for a dot touched event, really. Or say you want a gun and you want a fire rate on it. So that is how you use a .touched function. Although if you combine this with some little really cool method which is called get players from character. This is a method which means it has this on the end. So you would do game dot players get player from character hit dot parent. Now this can be a variable as well if you want it to be, so it could be player equals, but then you could do if player then, and then you can do print player dot name. Oh, I added an extra S, hang on. That's my fault. Get player from character, there you go. Now, there you go, player 1. And that's all there really is to a .touched event. Now, you can do stuff like workspace, .child added, connect, function, C. Now, I will have to point out that you don't need an argument. An argument is just there to define something if you want it to. Now you could do print C, and it should say player 1. Oh no, if I play solo. There you go, player 1. The selection part, oh okay. Now descendant added. It's exactly the same as child added, but it even includes parts inside of parts. So if I added a script into here, it would even fire then. Now, dot player added. Game, dot players, dot player added, connect, function, player, done. Now, I will point out again that the argument can be changed to whatever you want, as long as you define it properly in the main code. So player.can load character appearance equals false. This will be the last event that I do, but I'll just show you what this does. Now, once you load, it doesn't load up your character. That's all. There is some cool thing somewhere. No, none of them. No. Oh, object browser, that's the one. Now, if you scroll down here, you won't need any of these, but if you look through here, these are all the things you can use. So, baseplate. These are the main ones. I don't know if it changes if you click on play. No. View object browser. No, it doesn't change. Ah, hang on. Player. This can be used on player added, I guess. Yeah, here we are. All of these can be used on a player. So, on teleport, when they get teleported to another game, idled if they've been not moving or inactive for a while. There you go. So we'll show you a summary of everything. However, I recommend looking everything up on the wiki first before you do it all. It's just a lot easier from there. Okay, if you look on players, there you go. It will show up with player added, player removing, and that's about it really. Those are functions, variables, and events. So variables are really simple to do. Events prevent something from firing until a certain event has happened, and functions prevent it until called. So it's completely up to you how you do it. Remember, you can do connect function, or you could have a predefined function and do game.players.playerAdded. connect function name. There you go. And providing you've got a function called function name, how I showed you earlier, so you know, function name. These two do exactly the same. This is just cleaner and quicker to do, but this can be ran more than once. That's about it. Thanks for watching. I guess like, comment, subscribe. Send me a message on Roblox if you need help. It's Epic Breaker. If you can see it in the other video, or you can read the about section of me. So yeah, I'll be uploading once a week. If you like it, I guess share it around as well. If it's helpful, just send me a message, say it was good. If it was bad, tell me why. Anyway, bye.